So it's now that we start into what would be considered the classical idea of motivation, and that's about quite often in marketing and sales about the directing and manipulation of automated responses. So that takes place on sort of two levels. And one of it is around social interactions and one-to-one interactions, and the other one is set up in the environment. So the classic sort of manipulation within the social interaction would be giving a gift. And there's the idea of reciprocation, that if someone gives you something, you give back. And that appears not only with physical gifts, but it's built into all social interactions. So if you look at two people forming a friendship, what normally happens is one of them will reveal a small detail about themselves that's very, very slightly private. The other person reciprocates. The first person will reveal something a little bit more telling about themselves. The other person reciprocates. And then the relationship builds over a period of time. When it comes into the idea of environmental manipulations or persuaders, you have the work of nudge. So the easiest way to explain the concept of nudge would be some of the traffic calming things you see on the road, where no one tells you to slow down, but there's bumps there. And if you go over at speed, you're probably going to take out your suspension or blow a tyre. And the presence of the physical obstacles basically generates the behaviour to slow the traffic. So if we have a look at some of the social persuaders, the classics are reciprocation, so the idea of giving and receiving, we just spoke about, scarcity. So the more rare an item is, the more rare the opportunity is, the more people want it. Example would be, I once had a chance to meet Nelson Mandela and was prepared to take the day off work, pack up my good wife and travel all the way up to London to meet him for 5 minutes. So that opportunity would only come once in a lifetime, for me anyway. Then you have the idea of authority, and with authority comes the idea of power. And authority in the context that I'm talking about would be someone that's a knowledgeable professional, or someone who's generally respected within the social grouping. So the sort of things would be a doctor, or a lawyer, or a police officer, police chief constable, that sort of stuff. Consistency. So consistency within a social setup is the idea that you do what you say you're going to do,